he would clean up his messes, but he didn't clean it up good enough, so they'd still find semen, you know, because it's just a semen factory after you rape somebody. That's why they have rape kits.
Did you just say a semen factory?
Yeah.
I mean,
is that not accurate?
I guess that's one way to put it. I would have thought it was more of like a semen museum, but it's whatever.
It was the goo that made him guilty, you know, his man goo. That's what ultimately did him in, because they were doing all, you know, this is early stages of like forensic investigation back then, but they were still able to match his DNA. There's also a story of when he's standing there with his public defender, and they told him that they needed to get 50 of his pubic hairs. And so what's he do? He stands up and he rips out like 2 huge clumps of pubic hair. He drops his pants, rips out pubic hair, and says, that should be about 50.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
He didn't give a fuck, which is weird, though, because, like, he acted like he was all, I don't know, apologetic about it all, but we know that's bullshit. It always is. Including with Son of Sam. Sorry, everybody. I don't buy it. Son of Hope, he is not. So, Rowling was finally brought to trial by Alachua County State Attorney Lynn Register nearly 4 years after the murders. Rowling claimed his motive was to become a superstar in much the same way as Ted Bundy. God knows if that's true. He also claimed that he killed 8 people, because he wanted to put the ball in his court. He claimed that he killed 8 people because he had 8 years in jail that he had spent or some shit over robberies, and that he wanted to kill 1 person for each year. And that's bullshit, too, because, you know, this is just him trying to act like they didn't bust him. You know, he just wanted to act bigger than the system. So, in 1994, before his trial could get underway, Rowling actually unexpectedly pled guilty to all the charges. Subsequently, State Attorney Rod Smith presented the penalty phase of the prosecution. And, you know, they knew it was fucking him. They wanted that guilty verdict, or that guilty plea, and they got it from him. He actually made his cellmate tell them for him. Like, they had to sit in a room, and the cellmate would tell him what they did. They would confirm it, and Danny Rowling would say, that's true. Like, he wouldn't tell him himself. He was, like, having this big fucking parade about it. It was weird.
That's awesome.
They were like, we never seen any shit like this in our life. So Rowling was sentenced to the death penalty because they didn't give a fuck whether he felt bad or not. You kill 5 people in Florida, 3 somewhere else, which we'll get to, and that's that. That's a wrap for you, buddy. Lethal injection. Then he didn't get any kind of he didn't get fried like Bundy, but you know he didn't get killed till 2006. So during his trial, Court TV conducted an interview with his mother from her home. And during the recording, his father could be heard shouting off camera. Now, if that's not fucking appropriate for what his dad was, I don't know what is. Rowling was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and paraphilia. Vic, you got any paraphilia in your house? Oh, wait. Sorry, that's sexual perversion. And sexual deviation, right? He's a deviant, like you said.
Yeah,
sorry, I thought it was something we kept. All right. Well, Rowling, after he was arrested, police in Louisiana alerted authorities in Florida to an unsolved triple murder in Shreveport on November 4th, 1989. So he got started in the 80s. Detectives noted that there were similarities between the Gainesville murders and those of 55-year-old William Grissom, his 24-year-old daughter, Julie, and 8-year-old grandson, Sean. Family had been attacked in their home as they were preparing for dinner. Afterward, Julie Grissom's body had been mutilated, cleaned, and posed. He loved it. Although Rowling never officially confessed to investigators handling the Grissom case, he did write about the murders using information that only the killer would know. So, I don't know why he did this. Like, I don't know what the motive was. I mean, not that there was a good motive for the Gainesville ones, other than he just kind of wanted to get a nut off. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the only way he could do it. I don't know. So Shreveport police obtained an open arrest warrant in 1994, but Rowling was never extradited to Louisiana because Florida doesn't do that shit. They just let you die there, and they did. So he never stood trial for those killings. Rolling was executed by lethal injection at Florida State Prison on October 25th, 2006. That poor guy didn't even live to see Halloween. That's fucked up.
It is. I'd be upset.
U.S. Supreme Court rejected a last-ditch appeal. He was pronounced dead at 6:13 p.m. Rolling sang a gospel hymn, but made no statement immediately prior to his execution, which was witnessed by many of his relatives, or many of the victims' relatives. In a written statement made shortly before his execution, Rolling confessed to the murders of the Grissom family in Shreveport. So, there's a lot of books about it, and there's some art that I've seen out there, murderabilia, you know. So, Danny Rolling, he's well known in like the true crime community, but I don't feel like he's that well known among like the general public. If you go ask somebody about the Gainesville Ripper, do you think they know who he is? Nick, did you leave me? Do you think the general public knows who the Gainesville Ripper is?
Probably not. I mean, maybe they've heard him heard of him in passing or whatever, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody knows who Danny Rolling is. It looked like he put on some weight while he was in jail. Must be because he was getting 3 hots and a cot, you know? And he was living in a camp.
They definitely wouldn't know him by his real name. I mean, fuck, man. I barely know his real name.
Yep. He sounds very country. He does not look like a guy that would do these type of things, but then again, I wouldn't say that about Bundy either. It's very odd. He has this is going to sound bad, but he has like a sympathetic face. You know what I mean? You almost feel bad for him, but then you think about what he did, and it's like, fuck you. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to think about some other things about Rolling. I mean, I always found it weird that he posed this shit, but I think he was just fucking with the cops. You know?
Yeah,
I'm sure he hated the cops. His dad was a cop, you know?
Yeah. They give him enough reason to hate him right there.
Yeah, he's a weird mix of different serial killers. A little bit of Bundy in there with the B&E stuff, and a little bit of BTK, a little bit of Zodiac with the way he's killing them, stabbing them in the back, with them tied up. A little bit of Son of Sam because he had a type that he was going for. I don't know, man. He liked that K-bar knife, though.
Yes, he did.
Pretty good knife.
Yes.
I need to get a K-bar now. I've got a machete. I need a K-bar.
Yeah.
I believe I can get it on Amazon.
You can get anything on Amazon, bro.
It was actually originally for troops, and he was one of these guys that tried to get into the military too. And I don't think he was smart enough. I could be wrong though. Yeah. I have no idea what his IQ was. I was actually looking for that, and I can't seem to find him on the Radford University site, which I found weird. You know how they have all the serial killer timelines? Yeah. I can't seem to find it. Okay, never mind. Okay, so here we go, Vic. So the intelligent ones are ranged between 121 and 165 IQs.
Yeah.
They're the smart ones. And then there's the not-so-smart ones, okay? And Danny Rolling is at 89. The lowest ever is Clarence Victor at 65. So 89 is pretty stupid.
Wow, yeah.
That puts him below Richard Chase, Robert Hansen, and Vernon Butts. And then that puts him right at the same as Henry Lee Lucas. It's over Otis Toole. And above Dahmer. Dahmer was a 75. That's pretty stupid. I didn't realize Dahmer was that dumb. You dumbasses. I thought Dahmer was smarter than that. You stupid fucks. That's why you all died.
Where's fucking Ronald Dominique at?
I don't know. I doubt he's even on that site. Okay, so They kind of have a section called A Strange Way to Raise a Child, and Danny Rolling is one of those that's listed because, fucked up childhood. At 6 months, his father kicked him into a wall. Well, that's a hell of a nice thing to do to your 6-month-old. Jesus.
Wow, what the fuck?
At 1 year old, his father beat him when he crawled funny. I kind of alluded to that earlier. At 6 to 8 years old, father beat him twice a week. At 13 years old, father handcuffs him to brother and beats them and leaves them outside. It's a hell of a way to treat your child,
Yeah. Good Lord.
His dad's a fucking major league asshole, isn't he?
Apparently. He's not like a dick.
Jesus. Okay, so then there's lust killers, okay? There's a list of lust killers. So organized lust killers are Ted Bundy, right? Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is two I don't know much about, so we'll just throw them out. Chris Wilder, Kenneth Bianchi, and then Ed Kemper. He was organized, I'd say. Then there's the disorganized killers. And these are lust killers, but they're disorganized. There's Arthur Shawcross, Richard Chase, which we'll get into someday with Kevin M. Sullivan deeply, Jeffrey Dahmer. I could say he was disorganized in his own way. I mean, he did have people in his freezer. That's probably not the way to go. And then Danny Rolling.
Yep. But hold on. Back the train up a little bit.
Did you call me a trainable?
What? No. If you got bodies, you gotta have them in the freezer or they'll ruin.
You funny.
No, I'm not, Sean.
Yeah. Well, you gotta keep them frozen. I get it.
I'm just saying.
Well, anyway, that was our whole thing on the Gainesville Ripper, Danny Rolling. Well, actually, one of my favorite serial killers, Nick, just because of the fact that that's some weird shit to do. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Hosing bodies and shit. What kind of a weirdo does that?
This fella.
I'm wandering outside.
I just pitched in the driveway while you were talking.
Well, you know what I'm about to do.
It's in the bushes.
Yep, that's what you gotta do. Anyway, so so Danny Rolling, he kills 8 people. He's definitely not the most prolific of serial killers because he was stupid. But I mean, what he did was fucking memorable, I think. Well, I mean, Ed Gein wasn't fucking prolific, but look at him.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to kill a ton to be remembered.
You don't, man. I mean, sometimes it's what you do, not how often you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Ridgway killed more than him, but nobody gives a shit about Ridgway. I've told you that.
Ridgway stacked up bodies. He stacked up bodies, but he looks like Ned Flanders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He can't look like
Ned Flanders. That's a good fucking point.
You can't look like Ned Flanders and get the juice. You know what I mean?
Hey, Vic, R.A. Millihoff's going to be there.
Oh, I just saw that.
Yep. So,
I forget, what were you talking about him for? You need him on your Hatchet poster or something?
Hatchet 2?
Yeah. Well, he's pretty easy with that.
Because he got his ass beat. Anyway, he put up a pretty good fight. But anyway, I think we should tell everybody what we did last night. We had a nice little experience last night. It was cool shit with Brucey.
Oh, yeah, Brucey. I take back every bad thing I ever said about Brucey. I'm doing it here on a public forum for everybody. I apologize, Mr. Brucey. The last night, our good buddy, or Travis's cousin, actually, found out that Bruce Campbell was coming to town for a book signing. So, it's only $45 compared to at least $80 or $100 you're going to pay at a convention to meet him and have him sign you or whatever. So we do it. And I tell you what, man.